I wanted to do another quick Facebook Live. Today I wanted to talk about playground anxiety. A parent came in with their 4-year-old, and occasionally parents will come in and they'll kind of ask me a leading, loaded question, you know, like Dr. Boucher, isn't it important that Timmy eats his vegetables so that he grows healthy and strong? And usually I just play ball, and I give a little speech about how it's important to eat your vegetables or go to sleep when you're supposed to. This time a dad came in and he said, so Dr. Boucher, to be safe and fun, we only go down the slide, right? And I paused for a second, and I considered my options, and the last few times that we as a family have gone to the park, and I asked the little boy Timmy, you know, is it fun to go down the slide? Is it fun to go up the slide? And how do we be safe on slides? And we talked about taking turns and not pushing and waiting till our other friends had their chance to go down the slide. And I told Timmy that it sounds like he's already being safe on the slide. And instead of focusing on the rules, let's focus on being safe around others. I think it's okay to go up the slide or down the slide. And the discussion really made me think. When we were new parents, we were, hyper vigilant on the playground and in the backyard, and it was stressful for me and it was stressful for my wife, and it was so much less fun for our child because we're watching them, we've got their hands behind them and everything like that so they don't fall down. And really what those kids are doing is they're learning about their environment, they're learning about their capabilities. They see this big piece of colorful plastic and it's got an okay grade, and they think, okay, I'm going to go up this. And after watching my kids play and having my hands behind them, a foot behind them as they go up, they have fun and they figure it out. And we kind of realize, what's the worst that could happen? Well, he could fall down, but he could fall down going down the slide too. If he stumbles or gets stuck on the slide, gravity will help him figure it all out, and he'll see how a slide works and he'll see how gravity works. Another kid could show up at the top, and then they'd figure out what to do. Or they'd have a tumble where they ran into each other and realize, oh, that's how a slide works, and if somebody's going down, I probably shouldn't climb back up at the same time. There's other things that could happen that would be bad. He could get hurt exploring his world, but that's really just a part of childhood and a part of understanding our own limitations. And you could get hurt playing inside too. Being outside and playing is just a good chance to learn more about our environment and have a little bit more risk. And realize that we as parents can't protect them from all their ouchies, and we shouldn't try to. Getting ouchies is how kids figure out what the boundaries are for their world and for exploring and making the right choices to remain safe. We get an ouchie and we realize, oh, that's how it works, and oh, I should go up the ladder and not jump off the ladder. And next time I'll avoid doing that and I'll go down the slide instead. Without ouchies, they really don't have the chance to learn, to explore, and to adapt. So back to that dad in the room with the 4-year-old. I went through all this with Timmy and his dad and talked through, everything I just said about exploring your world and taking risks and everything like that. And I wasn't really sure how the dad would take it because I could tell that he had kind of set me up for saying that, yes, Timmy, we should only go down the slide, and I didn't really play ball with what he wanted. And the dad looked at me and he paused and he kind of made this gesture like I was afraid that I was going to get a lecture from him. And then he reached over and grabbed his phone and he said, can I call my wife and can you say that exact same stuff to her right now too? And it made me realize that a lot of times we're just seeking permission to sit back on the bench at the park and just watch our kids, rather than feel like we have to be a hawk, we have to be a helicopter parent, we have to micromanage every moment and every play opportunity and every fight and every time somebody doesn't share. And really, I think if you just wait, if you just give kids the chance and set some large boundaries, that they will do well within those boundaries. And we can sit back on the bench and we can chat with our spouse or with our friends, or just take in the moment and enjoy getting to see your child explore their world. The other thing that parents ask me a lot about with safety is sticks. If I'm 33 and I grew up in the world where kids played with sticks, and sticks are fun, and I think sticks are fine for kids to play with. That's another time where we're just setting limits and setting boundaries. And if parents are unsure of it, then say, well, what should we do with a stick? Well, we should play with it, but what shouldn't we do? We shouldn't poke each other in the eyes. We shouldn't jab somebody with a stick. We shouldn't run fast with a big stick. If you can talk through those sort of safety measures, then I think it's okay to sit back, watch your kids play with sticks, and allow them to get hurt, allow them to figure out their limitations, allow them to work through issues that come up with friends, and allow them to take those risks and experience the good parts of the world and the scary parts or the ouchies of the world. I think if you give them the chance to try, they will surprise you, and you'll get a lot more enjoyment out of watching them on the playground if you're sitting on the bench watching and you see, this scenario that you used to be all over and micromanage, and you just let it play out. And I think you'll see that most of the time it works out just fine, and the kids will figure it out for themselves and don't need that hawk on top of every movement watching to make sure we don't get hurt or hurt someone else or be mean. You'll find out that your kids are a lot more capable than you realize, and you'll get to enjoy it a lot more. So try that out next time you see your child going up the slide instead of down it. Take a deep breath, wait, watch what happens, and I think you'll be surprised. If you like this video, please share it. Please leave a comment. If you agree, an amen. If you disagree, heck no or something like that. Continue the conversation in the comments and keep up the good work.